Hey, great day to y'all. I hope that you were all able to wake up and tell yourself that you were grateful to be alive again another day in this experience. And I hope that you were able to set a high vibe. And you know what? Let me see if I can add the comment here. Let me see if I can add it. I guess not. Okay, that's okay. I'll do it after. Guys, today there's going to be a learning tool involved in this live. A lot of people are worried about negative entities and evil and... Look, I'm going to encourage you guys all to grasp as much of this understanding as you can humanly possible today, because I am going to explain it to you. And I know it seems backwards to you guys, but I'm sure once the explaining happens and I use the word, you're going to get it. Okay? Because I really have to break it down to you all so you really understand. Now, we are all frequencies. We are a unique energy signature primarily. We are not just our bodies. Okay? Now, in order for you to understand your frequency, you need to take a look at the scale of what your frequency is, okay? And what you choose to embody for yourself. So there was a comment that I'll post after this video. Actually, you know what? Anyway, on one of my videos on YouTube, it was the universe is always working in our favor. There was a comment that was posted there that was basically saying, Tobi, there's a lot of evil and devil works, and, basically, I'll post the comment. I understand that. But all it is a frequency. Okay? And it's just as there's a huge collective consciousness, whatever frequency people choose to embody and they frequent at, well then, whatever is frequenting or created in that frequency, well, if you're matching that frequency, well then it can affect you and it can shift you because it's affecting you. So, this is the key to everything. Now, when you are embodying certain states for yourself, by choice alone, by your thoughts, your ideas, your speech, your actions, you are maintaining a frequency in your being. Okay? Now, I love to come out here and talk about fear and how fear locks us into a lower density vibration. Well, today you're going to really understand what that means. Okay? Why? Because I'm going to show you. All right? Now, in this learning today, I want you guys to take a look at where fear lands. In here, can you see that? Yes. Fear's here. It's at 100. Okay? Yeah, it's backwards. It's backwards, but fear, this is a fear-based density. This is a frequency. Well, anybody that's living in fear is operating at this frequency within their being. Okay? Now, love, the frequency of love is 400 hertz higher than fear. Okay? So, you see that? Love, 500. Let me back it up. All right? Well, let's take it up a notch. Gratitude, 540. All right, you see that? All right, let's take it up a notch. When you're delighted by life, 600. Well, when you have opened your third eye and you're enlightened, well, then you're up at 700. Well, in order to be fully spiritually awakened and maintain that frequency constantly connected to Source, 963. Okay? 963. So what is the reversal of that for your ground chakra is 369. Okay? 369 for your root. So, when you choose to embody certain things within yourself, states of being, certain thoughts, do you know every thought that you think it throws out a frequency. It is its own thing once you have made it become a thought. So, your ideas, which you fuel by your life force energy, depending on whatever frequency you're on, okay, manifests it into a thought. You have just created it into something, which sends out a vibration. Okay? So, why do I tell everybody to be grateful? Why? Because most people are living here at the bottom. Do you see what that is? Shame, 20. Guilt, 30. Fear, 100. Well, guess what? Anger is 150. And everybody thinks, oh, getting anger is my power. You're an idiot. You know why? Because no, your truest power is operating from your frequency of 369, operating from your crown. Now, what does that mean fully? Is when you take your life force from your crown, from your root, and you intentionally force it up through. But as you do that and open up each chakra point, well, you're opening up whatever you have stored there too, blocking you from embodying certain things. And as you elevate your frequency and as you do inner work, don't think that you can Kundalini awaken and not do the inner work. Because what stops you from fully embodying the frequency that you should be running at is shame, guilt, fear, desires, anger. Okay? It blocks you. Why? Because it is a total reversal of how you should be flowing. Now, when you look at operating in anger, anger is 150, okay? Versus 700 just to be enlightened. Well, I would say that's a huge gap, no? You do the math. Now, do you understand why I tell everybody? And I come out here every day and I tell you all, intentionally set for your frequency to be grateful. It's not my opinion. I'm trying to change your world for you, with you. Okay? So, elevate your frequency. Bring it up. Okay? Because it's over love, and it's over understanding, and it's over acceptance, hope, and trust. Right? So when you're being grateful and you're vibrating at a grateful stance, the point to all of this live today is this. Now that I've done the frequency breakdown for you and get you to understand why you need to be operating from a higher level of consciousness all the time and stay in your higher level of consciousness, because when you are vibrating out of love, there is nothing below that that can touch you or come at you or harm you. So it doesn't matter who's angry. Doesn't matter who's shaming or blaming or who's fearful of what. Because as a unique individual, you can embody your full frequency and power and bring your life force fully up to your crown by intention alone. That's how much I've researched, and that's how much work I've done on myself. I am an enlightened, awakened being, connected fully to Source constantly, and that's where I operate from. And that's where I will remain by choice. But this is why I try to influence No, the writing's, oh, Josie, no, it's because of the video. It's how you guys see it. Because, you know what, I'm doing it off my phone. But it's good to see you out here, girl. Love you lots. Even though it's backwards, like I said at the beginning of the video, you'll still get the meaning of it. You know? The content behind it. Because it's really important that people understand the frequency of fear. And when you're operating up at a frequency of love, anything that is operating at a density of fear, you're not on the same level. So how can it even affect you? It can't. But the more you become aware, and the more you love yourself, and the more you embody your full life force through you, you realize you have nothing to fear. This is why I say I hold zero fear. It's not to be aggressive. It's because with my frequency that I vibrate at, which is consciously connected all the time, I do not embody lower density vibrations. So this is why I said the other day, no, anger? Not angry. I'm consciously connected and aware. And the force of life that's giving me life governs my life and my being. It's quite different than being aggressive and angry. It's called self-mastery. Guys, I want you to understand and only operate from a frequency of love or greater for your own good. Everything that frequency that you choose to embody, you will create the effects of that same choice. Because the simple choices that we make in our life are actually the mere causes of all the effects that we feel in our life. Self-accountability, radical responsibility. If you want to feel better, you cannot sit in fear, guilt, shame, anger, desire, and think that you're going to feel love, gratitude. It's not on the same page. So what I encourage everybody to do is to flip the page. Make a simple conscious choice today for yourself and for everybody attached to you, not to embody any state of being that is fearful, that is anxious, that is angry, that is because it is a lowered vibration. Now, I want you guys all to think about this. Why do you think we look at things as positive and negative? Emotions or states of being. Because when you are embodying fueling emotions, it is a plus for you. You don't need to feed off your life force to stay alive. You create joyous, heart-filling moments that keeps your cup overflowing. But when you choose to embody lower density vibrations, fear, anger, shame, blame, guilt, you are taking from your own cup. It's not about anybody else. Because whatever you choose to embody is not affecting anybody else but your own self. And I need you all to understand that today. Literally. You guys need to become so self-aware that you understand what state of being you are choosing for your own self. Don't sit there and think about how you feel or how you have felt up until today. Today you choose by a simple choice not to feel that again. for your own well-being. It's got nothing to do with anybody else. It has to do with staying balanced within your own being and allowing the thriving, fueling life force to keep you up and your cup overflowing to get the most out of your experience. If you're operating out of anger, fear, guilt, shame, blame, everything of lower density, instead of love, 500, or gratitude, 540, but even more so than that, delighted or enlightened. But you know what the true full embodiment is? Is when you reach and have broken through your crown chakra and fully released all of the blockages, which brings you up to a 963 hertz. Like I'm saying, when you're up frequenting at these kind of frequencies, like I do, nothing of lower density can touch you. It's as simple as that, because you are not on the same frequency. And it's very important that you do this consciously by choice. But from this overstanding of it all, you see everything. Nothing can be hidden. So I encourage you all to get rid of all of the self-hatred, the self-blame, the confusion, the allowance that you give your mind to control you instead of the other way around. You must tell your body and your brain that it works for you and not the other way around. Your body is not the force in command. You are the force in command and nothing but. And this is why I tell people there's no person, place, or thing outside of you that can harm you unless you extend an energetic cord and give it permission. By choice. Everybody believes, oh no, it's not choices, it's my life. No. Life is an accumulation of your choices. The primary choice you have to take a look at in your life is what frequency you choose to embody. That right there is the cause of the effects in your life. Your mere simple choice. Okay? I personally know what it is to live in all the lower density vibrations. I did it for years. Did it for years. But when I had to, by choice, rid myself of everything that I carried through my life, and as I felt the cause of doing that, like I made that choice and caused the effects of that, I just wanted more of it. Okay? I'll remind you guys all today. This hand right here that has no flesh, you see that? There's like a dent right there where my other hand is fine. Okay, I'll remind you all today. They wanted to cut this hand off. Told me that I would have 7 days to live if I didn't do it. Well, my hand's fully healed, right? By my choice alone. Everything and anything's possible. All right? I want you guys to stop being fearful of anything. Don't get angered by anything. Don't get swayed by anything. You have that power to do that. The minute you tell your brain that it works for you and not the other way around, and you put that in check first, everything else falls into place. I encourage you guys always to learn. Why? Because it fires and rewires your brain to think differently, to do differently, to, I had to master that too. Literally. Because if you do not construct your brain to think differently, well, you will never create differently. I had to face death 7 times to realize that I was continuously doing it to myself, right? By what I allowed. By choice. Well, I'm not going to do that shit again. You know? Self-mastery is key. You're not going to find healing in fear. You're not going to find healing in anger. You're not going to find healing. And this is, I laugh at people when they say that their anger is their power, because they're so wrong. The true power in this whole reality is the infinite unconditional love that's giving you life. What does that contain? Every single thing ever thought of, said, created, manifested, ever in the experience. That's what's giving you life. So trust me when I tell you, it knows better. That's why you need to operate from that stance. That's why I tell people, operate from your power and not your experience. You are not your experience. It was a mere experience. When you're writing your CV, looking at all your past jobs, do you cry about it? Do you get stuck shaming and blaming yourself and guilting yourself over past experiences and skills you've acquired? No. So don't do that when you're looking at your life. Remove the stored emotions from your being so that you can unblock your life force and feel the totality of it and work from its power. But it takes work. You got to become self-aware. Self-aware of your own vibration first and foremost. All the time. Yeah. Because that's key. It's not about what anybody else is doing. It's about taking a look at what you are doing for you. It's got nothing to do with anybody else. Who are you showing up to be for you? Simple. It's not about showing up for others and what it is you're showing up for, or no. How are you showing up for you every day in your life? Are you showing up as the victim? Oh, life's happened. Are you showing up as the blame? Oh, well, it's because of this and it's because of that and blah, 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 blah. Are you showing up as the, oh, I'm depressed? Oh, because I have nothing to be grateful for? How are you showing up for yourself? Are you showing up angry at the world? Fuck this and fuck that one and fuck that. Blah, 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 blah. How are you showing up in the world? Because you know that. And it's not about reading people's minds, eh? But yes, frequencies, when you create them to be from an idea to a thought, and these thoughts, which become their individual creation of something, which pushes out a vibration to the world, I guarantee you this. With somebody like me, operating awakened and aligned by intention, feels it all. Energy doesn't lie. People can sit there and talk all the shit that they want, but their energy says it all. Yeah. And you can feel it all. When you've done as much mastery work on yourself as I have, you feel it all. And you see the ones who haven't done the work. And you see the ones that no matter how much you talk to them, they stay resistant and insistent on their destructive belief systems. And that's why there's a lot of misunderstandings with people, because they choose to embody a lowered frequency. I operate at a higher frequency to counterbalance all of the other ones living in fear, okay? Or living in anger. That's why it's so important for me to be me, because of the frequency that I embody by choice on a daily basis, no matter my environment, my situation, my circumstance, because of the awareness that I do have. At this point, when I tell you that I am soul-led and operated by creation, it's not a joke. Yeah. And look, I've been talking about the heart being the true brain for a couple of years. I put it in my books that emotions are man-made. Well, it's funny that science talks about how the brain has, how the heart has even more neurons than the brain does. That's the true brain. Guys, every single person, by choice and choice alone, can tap into their own power. We all have it. You woke up today, you have it. You and I are no different. The only difference between you and I is that I didn't want to feel like shit. And I didn't make excuses to stay feeling like shit and hating myself. Okay? That's the difference. Our own free will. So, hey, let it be said. And that's why I don't throw pity parties for anybody, and I don't entertain any for my own self. I don't excuse things. I operate from a certain frequency no matter who's in front of me. I don't change, and that is just who I am. Because everything of the lowered frequencies, hey, I had to climb the ladder, because this is the true Jacob's ladder. Okay, everybody talks about Jacob's ladder and climbing and the stairway to heaven. Well, this is the fucking stairway to heaven. This is it. You have to take yourself from shame, game, the blame, the guilt, the denial, the anger, the fear. You got to remove all that stuff by choice and climb Jacob's ladder. Yeah. To a higher vibration, higher frequency for your own self by choice. And you can. You can rewrite your DNA blueprint. Literally. The more you learn, the more your brain makes new pathways. You know that if you stay out of your head, it does the work on its own. Literally. But it all is dependent on what you choose to feel. But if you want to operate out of anger and fear and judgment and blame and shame and guilt and everything, you are taking away from your life force, from what is actually functioning all of your organs. And that's why that's a mismanagement by choice of your own energy, which throws your system off, okay? Makes you unbalanced within, which makes you sick, which leads you, if you're distracted from that, from what you're actually feeling and why you're feeling it, and if you are lacking self-accountability of understanding that, hey, if I made myself sick, I can make myself well. But it's a mere choice, because a lot of people like to stay in that victim party and the victim mentality because of the attention that it gets them. I'd rather not have any attention at all if that's the kind of attention I'm getting. Literally. And yeah, I come out here and it sounds raw, but it's real. Guys, you need to hear it straight up and truthfully. And that's why I do it the way I do. So the point of with the comment and everything that I'm going to post after, because I couldn't post it now, I'm on my phone. But it was off of a video on YouTube that the universe is always working in our favor. And it is. It's fueling you with a life force that you can make everything and anything possible for yourself, even complete healing and thriving, no matter what you've lived before. Why do I say it like that? Because I have had to overcome being on the edge of death 7 times to master myself and understand that it was nothing but the negativity making me sick. Simple choices. You know the thoughts that you have. Well, understand that these thoughts that you create, it's like making supper. The thoughts are things. And everything has a frequency. So you're putting your life force behind the creation of your thoughts. If you do not sit with yourself and take a look at the things that you are thinking, you cannot accept them and correct them. Most of us stay distracted from it until we actually say, you know what, I am going to do this. When you have thoughts that are not fueling you, well, then they are destroying you. So yes, you can make yourself sick by your thoughts alone. Because you are creating things within you. That's powerful. And literally, half of these things we keep to ourselves. And then make excuses for why the outwardly things are happening to us. Nah, be self-accountable down to the point of your own thoughts. Because these are things that you are producing within your body that are going to cause an effect within your body. So the comment on the video was that there are evil and dark forces working. Well, my answer to that is this. Bring it on. I am not fearful of anything dark. I lived in the dark and mastered the dark before I was able to ignite my own fire and bring forth light. When I talk about mastering dark and light, I have found my neutral point, which is my frequency of staying connected to consciousness and allowing consciousness to guide and fuel me to do everything. When I say that I do not think, I don't. By choice. And if I do have thoughts that come up, trust me when I address that shit right away. Why am I thinking like this? And I ask my soul. And my soul tells me exactly why. Plays out a whole scenario for me for complete understanding of why it's coming up. So what I'm saying is this. There is nothing of lower density that can harm you unless you give it the allowance to do so by choosing to embody the same frequency. Right? If you're vibrating up high like this, anything lower in density can't touch you. You're not even on the same wavelength. Guys, I hope today was effective for your eye-opening to a couple of things, if you haven't been awakened to it before. But this true awakening is when you awaken to your own operational system within and understand how muchly needed the corrections need to be made. And it's not out of judgment for your being. It's out of love for yourself and your life. Because whatever frequency you choose to embody, that is what you are creating out of. So you cannot create something from fear, being fearful of anything, and expect that whatever you create is not something that is going to make you fearful, because that's where you're creating it from. So if you're creating something out of love, well, you will feel the love, right? It's frequency. It's like I told people the other day on a video, on a TikTok video. Look, you want the perfect partner? You got to embody the same frequency of the characteristics and states that you want off somebody else, or it won't happen. Energies either merge or they repel. Take a magnet. They either stick or repel, right? Depending on the nodes and stuff, right? So think about it. Well, that's how the energies of human beings are too. And it has to do with the frequency that people choose to embody for themselves. And on that note also, you cannot live from your experience and think that you avoid situations or circumstances because of the way one person or one thing made you feel in your life. Why? Because everybody embodies a different frequency. There may be similar traits, but their frequency is different. So, just because you had a bad experience once with one person, or you ended up divorced, or you ended up in an abusive relationship, or it doesn't matter. Do not lock yourself off to love because of a past experience with one individual, or even with a handful. Because all of that was for your learning. Okay, and I hear a lot of people saying, oh, well, I'll never, open myself up to love again because, I got hurt in the past. Well, okay, so you're going to limit the rest of your life of heart-filling moments because of a couple of hiccups? You're an idiot. Yes, and I'll say it. Because you're robbing yourself, and that's why I say it. And nobody consciously wants to rob their own self. Well, unless you choose to embody a certain heightened frequency, you are robbing yourself. You're robbing yourself of your health, your wellness, everything. You don't want nobody to come in your house and rob you, right? Well, you are robbing your own house by not getting right with yourself. Literally. And I don't like people to feel like that. I know what that feels like. I robbed my own house to the point of nearly death 7 times. Hey, never again. That's why I tell you guys, no, I don't come out here with emotion. 0 emotion. I have no emotional states. I do not need to restabilize my body from anything. Okay? And yes, my goal to touching 1 million lives this year is well on its way to happening. Because the videos that I have been putting out are getting the hits. And that's all I care about. I don't need 1 million followers. Hey, no, I need 1 million people to be impacted by the things that I say to them. Out of unconditional love for the whole experience. Because you know what? I wish everybody could feel what I'm feeling inside. Solid. There's nothing that can shake me. And this is why I tell everybody, evil and darkness and all of that dense vibration, listen, I don't operate from that. Can't touch me. And this is why when negative or spell work or people talk about me and talk shit about me and put things out there that they should not be saying, I feel it. Because of the frequency. I feel it. But what does that do for me? That doesn't destroy me. All that does is fuel me. Because all they're doing is leaking their life force to me. And they have no clue. So yeah, haters, keep hating and keep talking shit about me because you're just making me stronger. Literally. And another thing, when you know how to transmute energy within, you know how to transmute energy also outside of you. So now that I've mastered transmuting my own energy and being in full power, you think anything else can depower me? No. And this is why I must be who I am on this planet. Because the frequency that I hold is extremely powerful in this greatest show on earth right now. Because I'm one of many that can't be shifted. This is how I want everybody to be. This is how much love I have for every single person that comes and listens to these lives and all of those who don't. I want you all to be walking around in your full power. Literally. Because not only is this your driving force, but it is your healing, it is your peace, it is your rejuvenation, it is your joy, and it is your power to make everything possible. That's why it's so important to embody it by choice and choice alone. You're worth it. Do the work because you really are worth it. You are a magnificent, powerful creation. You are a creator primarily on the planet. But you do have an innate power that's fueling you that has nothing to do with your physical being. And when you operate from that state and from that frequency, that is your truest power to make everything and all possible. Because everything and all is already possible within that energy. Okay, that's giving you life. Guys, you matter. I love you all, and this is why I come out passionate, heartfelt, and share this with you all. I want everybody to be in their full power. Guys, I love you all. Get the most out of it. And this is a shout out for the lady that, I believe her name was Tina, that left the comment on the YouTube video. I really, really appreciate you because it did fuel a very amazing learning today for the live. So I really heartfully, I'm grateful to you. Okay? And I'm really grateful that you took the time to dive into the video. And I'm really grateful that you took the time to leave the comment. Okay? And this is why comments are necessary. Because it fuels learning for so many. All right? And I'm going to mention you when I post this video to YouTube now to shout you out and thank you again. And hopefully you'll come and see this video too. Guys, be grateful and empower yourself. The universe is fueling you. We are all connected. But it's giving you everything that you need. Use it to your advantage. Okay? All the time. I love you all. Have a great day. Peace.